Chapter 49. They'd been all set to leave in what had been an uneventful morning. The easygoing calm of the early flight back to London was panning out to be a typical trip on a typical day. Day flights were a much quieter experience, as the passengers had to get up early to make the flight, which always made them better behaved. The frenetic atmosphere of the evening flight boarding, where the travellers were often boozed up, grumpy and full of their own egos, was rarely present on the day flight. Boarding was quickly complete and the doors were closed. The sequence for rolling back was underway when the plane suddenly stopped without warning. Delays were typical, but there was no explanation for this one. However, it was clear that this plane was no longer leaving the gate. Within moments, the staff were alerted that air traffic control had grounded everything out of JFK, effective immediately. Passengers switched their mobiles on and ringing instantly filled the plane. A passenger gasped loud enough for everybody in the economy cabin to hear. Everyone turned to see where the distress noise had come from as the cry grew louder before the passenger stood and ran to the front of the cabin. Sally appeared from business to find the source of the commotion, suddenly finding herself holding a hysterically inconsolable man. The passengers moved out of his way so he could be seated and calmed. The captain announced the plane was to be emptied. They were going back into the terminal to await instruction. The relocated passengers and crew were all unaware that they were now statistics in a story that silenced the world. TV screens ran live reports from Manhattan. Something horrendous had happened at the World Trade Center. It was near where Steve was supposed to be having breakfast, and while everybody focused on the crying passenger, Isla repeatedly tried to ring Steve. Although she was lucky enough to have a signal, as far as Isla knew, Steve was at the scene and was now missing.